Okay, hello YouTube. This is the Canadian Greek. This is apparently going to be part 3 to Nibiru Planet X update. People have got some things confused, and they think that they are looking at sun dogs and sun flares and camera anomalies when I'm showing them some pictures. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a small analysis of the pictures that I have thus far, and we're going to take care of those particular questions. Okay. Now if you notice the object that's here, that's above the pointer, okay, that is the object that Marshall Masters has dubbed as Blue Bonnet. If you notice the time and date stamps at the top, okay, May 20th, 154103, 2013. Now the time here is going to be very important, 154103. Why is it going to be important? Because what I'm going to do right now is relevant with the time exactly. Now I'm going to move forward through the pictures, 42, and I want you to look at the object, okay, how it's moving towards the horizon. Okay, the important thing here is for me to prove to you that that is an object in space and not a lens flare. Okay, see how it's moving forwards? In 1 minute, it moves towards the horizon. We move another picture forward, and it keeps moving in the same way. Okay, 1542 to 43, and 43 to 44, 30 seconds. Okay, 44, that's not very much. Here we go, 1551 for 44. Look at the distance it moves. Okay, from 44:06 to 51:48 is about almost 8 minutes. Look at the direction that it's traveling in. Okay, it's making a dash for the horizon. Why? Because it's a planetary object. It's out in space, and as time goes by, it's making a dash for the horizon. Okay, to 54, 51:48 to 54:49. That's another 3 minutes. Okay, 8 minutes prior to that. Okay, another 3 minutes now. Look at how it's moving. Look at how it's behaving. Its behavior. Its behavior is that of an object in space and not a lens flare. Okay? Another minute. Look at its movement. Look at how it behaves. Okay? And then they just lose sight of it there. Okay? But do you see how it's behaving? Do you see its behavior? It's behaving like an object in space that is making a dash for the horizon as time passes. Okay? That is not a lens flare. That is an actual object in space. Okay? Okay, that's part 1. Okay? That's one thing. Alright, now that we've got that covered, let's move along to part 2. Now let's bring this down, and let's have a look at something else. Here we have the pictures. Those pictures were from May 20th of 2013. These are from August the 14th of 2013. Okay, 1616, about the same time, within a half an hour of the previous pictures that you just saw. If you saw my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to go over that again. Let's do a small test here, because see, this is an object, okay, and this here is lens flare. So let's analyze this picture. Let's do a gamma step down test. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to start reducing the gamma. Okay, this is lens flare. Look at the reaction. Look at how it acts. Okay, first of all, you're almost getting like double vision. Okay, this is not. Bring it down. That is lens flare. Look at the size of those compared to that little dot. Okay, which is in space. I just proven that with my previous little step downs that I did with running through the images. There's the object. That is lens flare. This is actually on the lens and the camera shield. That is not. Okay, what do I mean by the camera shield? Well, this is a security camera. It's a live camera feed. This is the kind of camera housing that it has in front of it. So you have the glass pane in front. That's part of the housing where the camera is inside. So it's not being affected by rain, weather, all the volcanic ash, the steam, the noxious fumes, gases that are being put out by this volcano. It's got a pane of glass in front of the housing. Okay, and then it's got the actual camera with the camera lens. Okay. Do you get that? Okay, well, that's what you're seeing here. Okay, that is not acting like a lens flare. This is a lens flare. That is an object. Okay, that's the difference. Lens flare, object. And as you just saw how that object behaves, how I demonstrated that in the previous slideshow, as I flipped back and forth through the pictures, okay, this is behaving like a planet in space and not a lens flare. Okay, that's a lens flare. That is an object. Notice how it fades. This does not fade the same way, does not act the same way. In fact, look at the color of it. It looks like you're looking at it through a prism, because essentially you are. You're looking at it through a glass pane and through the camera lens. Okay, that's the difference. Let's look at the next picture. This is 1631, right? And the previous one was 1601. Okay, well, they're not very far apart, but for the purposes of seeing this same thing one more time, let's do another gamma step down. Okay, here we go. Here it is. There it is again. There's the object. Okay, not a lens flare. That is clearly behind the clouds because it is fading. Okay, it fades. These are lens flares. These are actually actual camera aberrations. Okay, these are lens flares. As you can see, it's almost making like a double whammy, like you're seeing double vision, like a tunnel. Why? I just showed you why. Because this is a camera setup. This is the camera housing. The camera is inside. You have a pane of glass in front, and then you have the actual lens. Okay, that is a lens flare. That is an object. Okay, I don't know how much clearer I can make that, as I just showed you previously. Okay, that I took you through these, and you saw how this thing behaves. It behaves like a planet. As time goes by, I showed you the steps, and you were watching the times. This thing is making a dash for the horizon. Why? Because time is progressing and the Earth's rotation is bringing it down towards the horizon, right? Makes sense? Okay. I don't think I needed to make very much time on this video. Obviously, this is not a lens flare. Okay, it does not behave like a lens flare. It behaves like an object that is behind some smoke. As we step down to gamma, it begins to fade. Okay, this does not. Okay, that fades. This does not. Not a lens flare. Lens flare. Not a lens flare. Lens flare. Okay, I don't want to hear any more crap in my videos or hear any more stupid comments about how it's a lens flare. Now, unless somebody's standing on top of the sun and firing a laser pointer through the clouds or through the smoke here, okay, then maybe, you know, God's playing a trick on us, and he's standing on top of the sun, and he's, you know, firing a laser through the smoke to, you know, jerk us around. I don't think so. Lens flare, not a lens flare. Okay, that's it. That in and of itself should be proof enough for you at what you're looking at. All right. Now, for those of you that haven't seen my previous videos, you should go and see them. Okay. Nibiru's part 1 and 2, Planet X Nibiru update part 1 and 2. This is going to be part 3. You should also scroll further down, go to my favorite videos, click on play all. Okay, and when you get here, you have everything you're going to have to see. There's about 3 hours worth of videos here, by the way, to get through all of it. You got all the 00 sky views, parts 1 through 6, plus you have the system, Planet X System and Observations Orbital Analysis from Marshall Masters, and Blue Kachina and its moon. This is also another video from Marshall Masters that tells you exactly what I just showed you, what that thing is. He does a very good analysis, okay, of what this is, okay, what Blue Bonnet is. Okay, so you guys should have a look at that. Okay, you should look at all these videos like your lives depend on it. I am trying to help you. A lot of people out there, or some people out there, are trying to help you. Okay, these videos have been done by some good people, and they've done some very good analysis and give you some very good information. Okay, my information is also good. And as far as not my prediction, but my timetable for January of 2015, it is accurate. Okay, or it's as accurate as I can make it right now, because I don't have the speed of the brown dwarf and how quickly it's coming into our system. So without that information, I think I'm as close as I can make it right now. Okay, if you haven't seen my previous videos, go and have a look at those, so you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, Planet X Nibiru's update part 1 and Planet X Nibiru update part 1 and 2. Okay, have a look at those, and you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about, and you'll be able to understand what this video is trying to show you. It is important. That's it for this video. It's not going to be very long. I hope I cleared up any hesitations that you might have, that you're thinking that what I'm showing you is a lens flare or camera anomalies. It is not. Okay, it is not. Otherwise I would not have made the videos. I'm not foolish. Anyways, this is the Canadian Greek. I hope this video helps you out. Please prepare in whatever way you see fit. I'm out.